All over the world they're talking about it. All over the world.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Break it down.
Get swishy with it. Swish Edition.
System activate.
To the world. This is the Swish Edition.
International sensation.
Downloaded in 140 countries. Every damn week. The Swish Edition. The Swish Edition. The Swish Edition.
You're listening to the Swish Edition.
Crazy, right?
It's weird.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Hey, everybody, it's April 8th. I cannot believe it's April 8th. And our astronauts, Robbie, they're coming back. They're coming back on Friday. You're going to watch them splash down?
Why do they want to come back?
Well, I don't know why they would want to come back. Trust me, I don't know. Anyway, you guys may have noticed, if you're looking at us on YouTube instead of listening to us, which you can do, either one is fine. Kristin's not here. That's because Kristin quit. Both of my closest best friends in the whole world, Dale and Kristin, both canceled on me. And I'm a little bitter about it. I will get over it. So what I decided to do to fill the hole is to ask my good friend, Robbie Barnett, to come join me on the show.
Holes.
He is good at filling holes, I hear. Allegedly. Robbie and I have known each other for probably 20 years. And I decided I would pick
Probably
someone.
more than that.
You might be right. You might be right. We'll figure that out in a second. But I just wanted to say this. I wanted to pick somebody, guys, everybody out there in TV land, and you, Robbie. I wanted to pick someone I hated. So if they also quit the show, I won't feel so bad about it. That was my stupid joke to start the show.
Totally understandable.
Yeah. So Robbie, okay, here's the best part. Now, when Kristin and I were doing the show, she was on the East Coast, I was on the West Coast. So we always had a huge scheduling nightmare to try to do this show. Guess where Robbie is? He's in the Pacific time zone. You're not technically in Walla Walla, Washington, right? Just outside.
Well, there's Walla Walla and then there's College Place.
Okay.
It's like a little tiny part out just next to Walla Walla. I am 2 blocks away from the actual city limits.
Got it. Okay, so it's pretty close.
Yeah, it's just my postal address says College Place.
Got it. All right.
I am kind of disappointed that my postal address doesn't say Walla Walla.
I know, and that's
we should have thought about that when we bought this house,
right? And that's exactly why Dale and I didn't buy a house in Henderson, even though Henderson is part of Las Vegas. I mean, it's basically Las Vegas. I refused to have I didn't want to have a Henderson address.
Or Paradise. Isn't there a place, Paradise?
Well, Paradise is an area of town. It's not an actual town.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, nobody has that as their address. Anyway.
Perfect.
So welcome to the show, Robbie.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Robbie is a good choice because, like me, he likes he's probably even more into pop culture than I am. So would you
Probably
say?
So. That is a fair statement. I
And
don't know
even-
if that's pathetic or not, but
It's not.
I'm all
It's
about being
not.
self-deprecating. So
I think it's fun. And that's why, that I've been doing this show for 16 years and we have a strict no politics rule because you're getting politics everywhere else in your world. You don't need it, for 1 hour or 45 minutes. You can talk about
good.
Madonna.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Madonna?
I love it. We're going to have to soon because her new album is coming out any day now.
Not only
and
that,
the second that drops, we're going to have to talk about, maybe we might even have to dedicate a whole show to this.
we'll do a whole episode.
We'll go track by track.
We'll do a special. Now, we can't play the music, However, we can talk about it and we can send
Perfect.
people somewhere else to listen to it. Yeah, no, we definitely have to do that. We also have to talk about the fact that she's been in Venice, Italy, filming this season 2 of The Studio.
The Studio.
For Apple TV Plus. Did you watch the first season?
I am in the middle of watching the first season.
How have you seen episode 2?
Yeah.
Do you know the
that was
significance?
the one shot
The
episode?
one
Yes.
shot. How cool is that?
I enjoyed that episode so much that I had to take a break because of its greatness. And then we got back into it. And, I had to take a break because I know Catherine O'Hara is on the show and it would have been really hard to see her after she just passed away.
Yeah.
So, but it's a very smart show. And even Seth Rogen, who's insufferable, He's supposed to be, and you love to hate him, I guess. Or, I mean, he's just kind of got no backbone.
Isn't it though? Doesn't he always try? He usually plays a character like that. You kind of love to hate him almost in everything he does.
I mean, it cleaned up at the, was it the Golden Globes or the Actors Awards?
Yeah.
Maybe both. Yeah, very good. And it deserved it. Yeah.
It's well deserved. So we
and
have
now Madonna's going to be a guest on it, which I'm super excited about.
Right. And what we don't know is she Madonna? I assume she's playing herself, right?
Yeah. I mean,
but we don't know.
She has not been on a TV role as a guest or anything since 2003 when she was on Will and Grace.
Will and Grace.
Playing like, Karen's old roommate or something. I forget, but she was like in that, and that's it since then. So it's been like over 20 years.
It's been a long time. All right. Well, I'm super excited about that. I don't know when that's coming out, but also, how about this? How about Hacks? Do you watch Hacks?
Yes. I am a big fan of Hacks. And it's set in Las Vegas.
We love that. We love that. And I've seen them filming here. So that's kind of cool.
Well, that's fun. Oh, yeah. Weren't you like an extra in an episode or something?
I did go.
Or was that on Poker Face? Yeah.
No, it was Hacks. And I went and I was there for hours and hours and then I was never in it because I left.
Wow.
Did I not tell you that story? It was miserable. It was absolutely
miserable. Now you know
miserable.
how Diane Warren feels.
There was like, did you see the picture with her and Brittany?
Yes, and she's like flicking off the camera. Brittany, not Diane Warren. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who does that when you're like, me and Brittany are exactly the same age. We were both born in December 81. She shouldn't be flicking off the camera anymore at 44. We're 44 now. Come on.
The girl is mentally unstable, and I think that's well documented. I don't know. And she really shouldn't be drinking. So she did just get a DUI.
Well, I mean, her and Justin Timberlake and Mary Lou Retton and Tiger Woods. It's the new thing to get a DUI. I mean, it's all the rage nowadays.
Yeah, it goes on and on. Anyway, Hacks is on the fifth and final season starts this Thursday. So I'm excited about that.
Okay. Yes, I will be tuning in.
Also, the news just came out today that Jessica Lange is returning to American Horror Story. So,
Season 13.
Very excited
along with
about
a slew of other people who have been on the show before. Kathy Bates.
He has his stable of actors and actresses that he just loves, and he uses them over and over again, and it really works well.
I thought I heard Jessica Lange say that she wasn't ever going to come back.
Well, they must have offered her something good. Yeah. And I think she's playing the character from season 1. Is that not right?
Is it season 1? Yeah, I mean...
Murder House?
I'm not 100%
we'll find out
on that. Yeah.
I don't know that we know that for sure. Yeah. But they teased a picture of her, but it's only from behind, so we're not
looking
sure
out of a window, right? It was very reminiscent of Alfred Hitchcock's Rebecca.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about...
there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited about that. So we'll keep you guys abreast as soon as we find out what's going on. And we're going to talk about Ryan Murphy a little bit later in the show. So we got him coming up again, and that's just a rumor. So we'll find out. Anyway, also, we just found out, I think it was the middle of last week, that there's going to be a Scream 8. So,
of course, why wouldn't there be?
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
Yeah, super fun. You probably saw the huge success of Scream 7. It did really, really well.
I was a part of that. I went to see it opening weekend because I don't want any spoilers to ruin anything for me on these kind of films.
I know. I had to be so careful that weekend because, I didn't see it until Tuesday. So I had to be super, super, super careful because this about me, I'm sure. I refuse to go to the movies on the weekend. So it's just too people-y for me. So if I can go...
I mean, honestly, I miss that. I miss going to a crowded theater. It's weird that I do because when it was like that, it was annoying. But now, like, more often than not, when I go, there's like hardly anyone in there. And I like hearing other people's reactions to things in real time.
I went to the movies on Monday this week to see... Well, we're going to talk about it later in the show. But I was pissed off. There were only 10 people in the theater, and that was 9 people too many. They pissed me off.
Were they being loud and obnoxious?
Well, 2 women had to tell each other what was going on the whole fucking time. Then one of them left to go to the bathroom. When she came back, her friend had to tell her what she missed. And I'm like, would you please shut the fuck up? And then there was another guy down about 4 rows in front of me who I swear to God, he brought the loudest candy wrapper on earth. And he was doing it for like 5 minutes straight. Yeah, it was just annoying as hell, but I got through it somehow. Well,
Well, you would think going on a Monday morning, you would be in the clear for anybody else being there.
I know, but I told you how many kids were there to see the Super Mario movie. And I could not understand why they weren't in school because spring break was last week. So I don't know.
Well, spring break is this week here. So I don't know.
Yeah, ours was last week here. So I don't know. It makes no sense to me why there are so many kids. I guess did their parents take them out of school just so they could go see the movie? Doesn't make any sense.
You know, that's something parents do these days. My mother would never go for that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You don't miss school for nothing.
Really? We miss school. We miss school to go skiing even because my dad refused to go snow skiing during holidays. So we would go like the 3rd week of January. And my mom just went and told the principal, I'm taking him out for a week. Deal with it.
Nice.
Yeah. But getting back to Scream 8, very excited about this. They hired writers Leela and Nora Zuckerman. Do you know them?
They're the writers of Poker Face.
Poker Face,
show that I love.
Yeah, it was so good. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they worked on that too. They're going to be writing the script for it, and I think they're looking at a late 2027 release. So they're fast tracking this, which I think is pretty cool.
Well, it's refreshing to hear that they've got this talent to write it, and it's not being written by AI.
Well, yes,
which
thank you.
Sometimes I watch a film and I'm like, this feels like it was written by AI.
Please, can we please not get to that, please? I mean, the union says they're not allowed to do that, so hopefully that won't be happening. But that's what the new season of The Comeback with Lisa Kudrow is all about, is her new sitcom is written by AI. That's the whole premise of this new season. Anyway, fans have been saying online ever since this news came out that they hope that Gale Weathers has a bigger role. I guess Courtney Cox wasn't in much of the movie in number 7, so hopefully they'll give her more to do in number 8.
She was missing for a big chunk of it.
I know.
I mean, we were allowed to do spoilers at this point for Scream 7, right?
I think it's safe because it's been, a month? Has it? Yeah.
Maybe almost 2.
I see dead people.
No, the part, where Nev Campbell, Sydney, was going to look for her daughter that whole time where she sort of ran out on Gale. And then you didn't see Gale again until the end of the movie. That was 15, 20 minutes later.
I know.
During a bunch of crucial moments.
Yeah, it made no sense. And maybe they did that because they wanted us to think that she was the Ghostface killer. I don't know.
Sometimes, I mean... They've been doing that for 7 movies with her.
Yeah. Don't say who the Ghostface killer is, okay? Don't say that. Because I don't think we should ruin that for people if they haven't seen 7
I will
yet.
not do that.
However, I was very disappointed in who
I was
going to
say I was very disappointed with that reveal.
Yeah.
I feel like there could have been a million other things that would have... I mean, you're at the 7th movie. Make it fun and crazy. I don't want to spoil it, but I was going to say something else. They should have brought a certain character back, even though it seems impossible. I think that would have been fun. I mean, when the 7th movie, in the Friday the 13th series, in the 7th film, we had a girl with telekinesis fighting Jason. Can't we get something crazy like that for these? I mean, you gotta jump the shark at some point when you're this far into a franchise, and you can't just keep doing the same old thing.
Right. Exactly. But I still enjoyed it.
I mean, I did too. I mean, because it didn't need to be good at all, and it was good for 75% of the time.
Exactly. All right. Since we're talking about movies, do you want to talk about it? Because the only reason I went to see this movie on Monday is because of you.
Okay, so the drama. All right, so this is starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, and it's been having this weird buzz where you don't really know what the movie is about.
I had no idea.
I mean, there's a trailer, there's all kinds of press, and they were on the cover of Interview magazine standing next to each other. They've had all these weird candid photos together, and you're like, okay, seems kind of fun. I'm not really a rom-com type of guy, I will say that. But this looked like it was maybe an edgy rom-com, which I would have been okay with. I was thrown for what this ended up being. I was very pleasantly surprised because I just walked in blind. I saw the trailer once, and I wanted to see it so bad because I wanted to know what. Okay, so in the movie, they're right before their wedding, they're
Be
like testing
careful.
out wines and stuff, and you know when you test out the food, what you want at your reception, and then their friends are there, and they decide to play a game called "What's the worst thing you've ever done in your life?" And that's all I'm gonna say. And I wanted to know so bad what it was that Zendaya's character did that causes the whole movement of this film. So I was like, I'm going to see this movie just to find out what it is. I'll pay the money to see it. And I was not disappointed. Then there was things just kept unraveling. And then it's a crescendo of shit. And it made me so uncomfortable in a good way. I was like writhing, almost writhing in my seat. Like, oh, I couldn't recover from this. I just could not.
He still hasn't. He's been talking about it for days.
I could not recover from that. And
Okay.
so I thought it was very good. I recommend it to anyone who likes offbeat, kind of quirky films that you can't really categorize.
You definitely can't categorize this. And you, at the very top of this segment, you said it was a rom-com. There was not a lot of comedy in it. I mean, there were funny moments.
It's dark comedy is what it is.
Dark.
Pitch black comedy.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, it seemed maybe marketed as some kind of rom-com, but I would definitely not classify it as that. At least not in the traditional sense.
I want to say so much stuff to you, and I will, but not now because I don't want to ruin it for people. If you really think people should go see this movie, and it is doing fairly well, it's done pretty well on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. I didn't like it, but that's not, and I don't usually look at my watch when I'm at the movie theater. I looked at my watch about 5 or 6 times. I'm like, when is this going to be over? So yeah, it didn't push my buttons, but I want to talk to you about it because there's so many things in it that I think could have been tweaked to make me enjoy it better.
Yeah.
I think basically Robert Pattinson's Charlie character completely overacted. And so did the bridesmaid. But you know what?
Well, that was
all
kind of annoying.
Over the top. But anyway. And then I was very disappointed because I saw that Anna Baryshnikov was in it, and she's only in it for like 2 minutes. So the girl in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
She's Mikhail Baryshnikov's daughter, which I didn't know.
Well, the bridesmaid, I think she was the maid of honor. The one you were talking about, isn't she part of Haim, that musical group of the sisters? They had that song.
Oh, I know who they are. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if that's her.
They would play it at the gay bars all the time. The video.
Oh my God, that is her.
It sort of sounded like Stevie Nicks, but it wasn't.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
Yeah,
I didn't even catch that until right now. Wow. Yeah, she's good. I mean, she's good, but I didn't like her character.
She's good at being like insufferable.
Right. Exactly. All right. So like Siskel and Ebert, he gives it a thumbs up. I'm giving it a thumbs down, but I
give it a thumbs up because I like it that it's not like traditional type movie. Yeah. It's very unexpected.
It was definitely unexpected, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But I do love her. Zendaya is amazing. I mean, and is she killing it? Is she killing Hollywood?
She is
Dune.
making some great choices.
Spider-Man. She's in everything. And she's cute as a button.
And I love that she takes risks. You know, this movie was a risk.
This was a risk.
She did that Challengers movie last year. That was a little offbeat and kind of a risk.
Yeah.
And she's doing great in Euphoria. I think she's coming back for the 3rd season. So she's making some great choices, and she's not just phoning it in, you know, and doing like the roles that any role that's being offered to her, or role she thinks is going to become box office hits. She's like actually putting thought into stuff. And
well, it's good.
You know,
I mean, I think she's very lucky that she gets to have those choices because she's made all her money with Spider-Man and Dune. So she can do movies like the drama and get away with it.
She's been around for a while at this point. I mean, the first time I think I saw her was in The Greatest Showman, that musical with Hugh Jackman. It
Yeah.
came out when I was still living in DC, and that was over 6 years ago now. So she's been putting in her time, and
Pretty
yeah,
amazing.
I look forward to
Yeah.
seeing what she's going to do next.
I'm excited about Spider-Man too, and I don't even like superhero movies. All right, now you can talk about Jerry O'Connell.
So segue to Jerry O'Connell, who's in this movie, Stop That Train. Although I didn't see him in the trailer, so I wonder what his character is. So last weekend, I had the pleasure of going to a 40th anniversary screening of the movie Stand By Me. There are 3 stars that are still with us: Will Wheaton, Jerry O'Connell, and Cory Feldman are touring the country. They've done stops in like Maryland, and they were in Seattle, and then they were in Portland, Oregon, which is where I saw them. And Jerry, I can't say enough good things about this guy. He was so energetic, so fun. He was just happy to be at this event. He was interacting with fans. He was passing out cherry flavored Pez to people. And if you've seen the
Wow.
movie, you know why that is and why that's a thing. And he was just he was so nice. I just want to hang out with this guy. And I took a picture with all 3 of them, and Jerry O'Connell was holding my shoulder. I didn't even realize it when the picture was taken, but I'm really into that moment.
That's really fun.
And
If you guys are,
everyone,
I was
Go
just going to say, if they're watching us on YouTube, I'll put these pictures up so they can see what you're
Well,
talking about.
it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
a lot of people were asking me, well, what was Cory Feldman like? You know, because Cory Feldman is probably the more controversial actor that's part of that group. I mean, Jerry is kind of beloved, and Will Wheaton is just kind of shy. And he was a little shy, but happy to be there, but just sort of not as chaotic as maybe Cory was. But Cory was fine. He was chaotic in a fun way, the way
Yeah.
that you'd want him to be. He was super happy to be there. They were all very engaged and really honestly wanted to talk about this film. It didn't seem like they were phoning it in or anything. And the funny thing about doing it in Portland is they filmed Stand By Me in Oregon. They filmed it
Wow.
in a town called Brownsville, which is about, I don't know, it's very close to Eugene, Oregon, which is sort of closer to the coast. And the person that played Ray Brower, which was the kid that died, that they were going to see the body of, that was actually an adult that played that role. It was not another kid. It was actually Cory Feldman's stand-in. He was
Really?
he was like 18 or 19 or 20, but he was short enough to be Cory's
Uh-huh.
stand-in. And that guy was in the audience of the show, just there with his family.
Oh, wow.
And they brought him on stage, and they sort of reenacted the scene where they find the body. They were having a lot of fun with it.
Well, that's
I
fun.
was so happy I went to this and got to meet them and stuff. Yeah.
All right, so how did the other people get involved in this? Or was that a different day?
Oh, you mean the
Debbie
other pictures I
Gibson
have?
and
Yeah. So that was another day in another town. I just had a whirlwind of a weekend meeting celebrities. So that same weekend, there was a convention, nostalgic convention called Rewind Washington. It was in a town called Puyallup, Washington, which is essentially Tacoma, just a little south of Seattle. And it's where they have the state fair in Washington, but they have a big a space for these kind of things. And I've been to other conventions in the same spot. So it was the 80s, or not just 80s, it was just called Rewind Washington. And that's where I met Debbie Gibson, who was awesome. She loves her fans, and she spent a lot of time with us. I was there with another friend just for this convention, and we took photos and we chatted. And before I parted ways with her, I did say to her, I said, I am Team Debbie, because Tiffany was at the next table over. I like Tiffany too, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to pit these fabulous ladies to each other, but Debbie is just, she has endured way
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
than Tiffany has. Tiffany was there. I did not go to Tiffany's table. I spent my time and my money with Debbie Gibson. Maybe I'll see Tiffany at another one. But
Well,
Tiffany was wearing a hat, and I was like, I'm not into that.
weren't you there the night that Tiffany was at Cobalt in DC?
Okay. I remember this night.
Yeah.
For 80s, it was flashback night, Thursdays at Cobalt, right? 70s, 80s. No, it was Tuesdays. 70s, 80s, 90s music. And Tiffany was there. I was super big into Tiffany at that time, and I don't know why, but I was not there. Have no idea why I wasn't there.
You missed out. You missed out.
I know. I should have been there.
So who else did you
I
get
could
pictures
have
with?
been there. Did you pick up on that?
No, I don't.
She had a song called "Could Have Been," but you know,
Yeah,
it
I
was
don't
her
know.
other number one
I
that
don't know her whole
not people remember as
catalog.
much. But she was there too, and she, you know, the line for Debbie was way longer than Tiffany's. Just saying, but
Yeah.
I also met Reginald VelJohnson, who is Carl Winslow from Family Matters, and he was in Die Hard and other films. Famous. He's my favorite sitcom dad. I had to meet Carl Winslow.
Of course.
And I met Helen Slater, who played the original Supergirl in 1984. And she's in one of my all-time favorite movies, The Legend of Billie Jean.
I know, that was a great movie, but you know who I thought that picture was before you told me it was Helen Slater?
Who?
Does it not look like Bionic Woman?
Lindsey Wagner?
Lindsey Wagner.
Was she the Bionic Woman? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Lindsey Wagner to me.
So Helen Slater was very nice, and I just feel like she's a bit mature for this kind of show, meaning she's there to like do what she has to do, but I just don't think she was having fun with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, she was very nice, and I got an autograph on my Legend of Billie Jean poster, told her how much the movie means to me. I mean, it's a cult classic. There are diehard fans out there. Maybe one of you out there loves that movie as much as I do. So I went to this con specifically just to meet her.
Oh, wow, cool.
Because I love this movie that much. Now, there's a pivotal moment in the film where she says, "Fair is fair," and she does like this with her arms. And I was hoping I could get a picture of both of us doing that pose, but she says, "Oh, I don't do poses." I was like, all right, I respect the celebrity, but I was a little bummed about that. Okay. But then she did a Q&A later, and I attended that. And I asked a question, said, I already know everything I need to know about The Legend of Billie Jean, so I didn't ask a question about that. But I did ask about Supergirl, which she starred in with Faye Dunaway, who played the villain. Faye Dunaway did this movie like shortly after Mommy Dearest. And she has a reputation for being like very hard to deal with on sets. And so I asked Helen, I said, what was it like working with Faye Dunaway? And I was expecting like anything, like, oh, she was a total bitch or she hated me. And she didn't say anything bad, which is very professional. She said this is what she said. She said Faye Dunaway was very particular about how her makeup and lighting were done.
Sure.
Which is understandable for a lady of Faye Dunaway's, she was maybe almost middle-aged at that point. You're very concerned about that. She didn't trust anyone else doing that for her. So I think she did her own makeup, and she was like probably like riding the cameraman's ass for the lighting and all that. And then the second question I asked her was, is she going to be in the new Supergirl movie that's coming out? I think it's coming out this summer. And she swiftly said no and didn't elaborate. So I don't know if there's a story there. To me, though, based on what she was like when I met her, it doesn't sound like she's interested in even doing that. She said that she got her master's or something in mythology. So she's out there doing adult things. I'm honestly surprised she even came to a con.
She probably did it for the money.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that I got to meet her, though, but.
That's very cool. No, it's very cool. I love your pictures, and your Debbie pictures are my favorite. And then you got to meet Morgan Fairchild too.
Morgan Fairchild is an icon. I had to meet her. Her table was right next to Patrick Duffy. I know you probably would have been crazy for that because you love Dallas so much.
Of course.
But so Morgan Fairchild, I had to meet her because she's a living legend for people that know, TV shows from yesteryear. And she was there for the gay community in the beginning of her career. She risked everything to come out and support the gay community and be outspoken about AIDS when no one else was, except for maybe like Liz Taylor and Madonna.
Yeah.
So I personally thanked her for that. I thanked her for, being in our corner, and she was very appreciative. I said, the gays love you and we'll never forget you for that.
She was
and then we took a fabulous photo together.
Yeah.
And her nails were perfect. They were just like incredible.
Well, she was Chandler's mom on Friends.
Yes. I think what I mentioned to her was I mentioned the movie she was in called The Seduction, which was kind of like an exploitation flick back in the day. It was very popular. And and a movie she was in. I like horror films. She was in a horror film. It was called Phantom of the Mall. And she
Jesus.
played the villain character, which I think she was the mayor of the town that wanted to do something with the mall or something, like raise it, or I don't remember exactly. But at the end of the film, she has like a spectacular death scene where she falls from like the third floor and lands like on a glass canopy or something. And when I mentioned, I said, "Oh yeah, I loved you in Phantom of the Mall." She sort of like kind of dismissed it a little bit, like that. Like she said, "I didn't even watch that."
That is hilarious.
But
Well,
yeah, I had a good time meeting.
good. I mean, you've done a lot of these cons. They look like they're a lot of fun.
They're a lot of fun, and there's other things to do besides meet celebrities. You can mingle with the people that are there. There's tons of vendors that sell stuff, and there's other interactive events. They do Q&As, photo ops, stuff like that.
Fun, fun, fun. Memories forever.
Forever.
And you have the pictures to prove it.
And they're framed on my wall.
I bet they are. I mean, I have my celebrity pictures up too. You got my, us
Yeah, I
with
see.
Katy Perry, and on the other side of my computer here, I've got me and Ricky and me and Aisha Tyler and a bunch of people.
Have you ever met Debbie?
No, but she lives here, not too far away.
She still looks fabulous. She'll be able to recognize her if you see her.
I've reached out to her a couple times to try to get her on the Swish Edition, and I didn't get a no, but I didn't get a yes either. So
Okay. She's holding out on you.
I just got nothing.
You just have to tell her how much you love her.
I'm sure I did.
You have to tell her you're Team Debbie.
Exactly. All right. I'm going to move on from that to, can you think of a job where the company you work for specifically mandates that male employees not have facial hair? I'm going to tell you, a company just made a huge decision about this. I'm going to tell you about it right after this message.
This, my friends, is the Swish Edition. And now for something completely different.
All right, Robbie, my friend Ian is not happy about this news. So Ian is a captain for Hawaiian Airlines based in Honolulu, and the pilots at Hawaiian Airlines just lost their year-long battle to keep their beards. Now, last year, Hawaiian was bought out by Alaska. Alaska Airlines owns Hawaiian Airlines. They're keeping it as two separate brands, but they're mingling all the rest of the company behind the scenes. Alaska pilots and most pilots in the United States are not allowed to have beards, and now Hawaiian has to also do it. So this dude, Ian, has had a beard for like 15 years. So I don't know what he's going to look like, if his wife has ever seen. I don't think his wife has ever seen him without a beard.
Do you want to tell your listeners why they have that rule in place?
Yeah, it's. I talked to my dad about it when I found out, and it has a lot to do with the oxygen mask. If there was ever a loss of the cabin depressurized, and the pilots have to put the oxygen mask on, which is not the same cup thing that people in the back get. It sits.
I'm sure he gets a better mask.
Yeah, it's a much better mask, and it's made differently, and it conforms to their face. Well, if they had hair there, they wouldn't get that seal that they need. And you really want them to be able to breathe.
They need oxygen. They really
do.
So I totally understand. Honestly, we're old enough to remember where you couldn't have facial hair in normal jobs,
right,
or exposed tattoos, or even a 5 o'clock shadow. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
this whole having facial hair, long hair, visible tattoos is kind of a new-ish phenomenon. Maybe in the past 10 to 15, maybe 20 years, maybe 20. If my job told me I had to shave my beard, I would do it in a heartbeat. Not because I listen to authority all the time, but I get it. But I don't have the kind of job where I'm facing the public. If I did, I would totally get it. But, no, especially if it's going to be for something like oxygen. Yeah, sorry, dude, you're going to have to shave that beard, and then you'll look 15 years younger.
When I texted him the other day, I think it was Saturday, about this news, and I said, "So should I send you a pack of razors? Because you probably don't have any." And he said, "No,
Right?
he said, I'm not flying this week, so I don't have to do it until late next week or late this week." So he was going to get a few more days with his beard.
Have you ever grown out a beard of any kind?
I've gone maybe a week. That's about as long as I've gone. When I went home for Christmas to my sister's house in New Jersey, I didn't shave the entire time I was there, and I looked a mess when I got home.
I don't think I've ever seen a picture of you with a beard. I mean, this is as scruffy as I've ever gotten. I've always been kind of a clean cut kind of guy.
Yeah.
Just as I'm older and a little heavier, I feel like the beard hides things. And people, twinks and younger gays, sort of like the whole beard look.
Daddy
So
look.
I'm going with it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I'm running with it. And
Yeah, but just know you're probably gonna die on the airplane.
if that's how I'm gonna go out, man, I am okay with that.
Just make sure you're in first class.
I am okay with it because you probably won't feel it, and you'll be on the news.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Oh my God. All right, you tell this next story because it's kind of fun.
You were asking me, should employees be held responsible for videos and memes they post on social media? There was a story about some people that work at Chik-fil-A that were recording videos of themselves, like they were shaking
They were bouncing their boobs.
cleavage.
Yes, their titties.
In their Chik-fil-A employee uniforms. I mean, it was not open. Like it was
Right.
during off hours. The place was closed, but they were still doing the video in their uniforms. And honestly, I don't know if you'll agree with me on this. I 100% believe that the company was justified in firing them.
No, I agree.
I
I
mean,
completely
you
agree.
represent the company.
Yeah.
Even if you weren't wearing the uniform, but you
Yeah.
were in the restaurant doing it, I think you'd still, I mean, people have been fired for a lot less.
Yeah.
At
They
this point,
fired
why
them
would you
all.
even do that? Why would you even do that? You know what I mean? Like,
I guess they thought it was funny.
because every job I've been to, there's always a thing in your paperwork that says you are always representing the company.
Yeah.
Even when you're off work, like say for instance you got in trouble for something and we're in the news. I mean, they're gonna say where you work.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're doing something in your off hours, I mean, I don't know. Even then, maybe you just have to be careful about what you do, and don't be so stupid that you do it in your place of employment without the consent of the manager or there are those fun videos that maybe a couple of years ago, I think it was during COVID, the cops were trying to get morale up for people, and they were doing funny videos where the cops were in the station dancing to something.
That's different.
They needed PR bad,
Yeah.
at that time, but everybody was on board with that. I think it was approved by the higher ups. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
That's something different than this, but
Exactly.
yeah, I
that
don't
was
feel bad for
sanctioned.
them at all. But I
No.
hope they find another job and learn not to do that again.
I'm sure they will. Well, I just went onto my Facebook and took down all my political posts this week because I'm actually auditioning for this job, which I can't really talk about, and I'm not going to talk about. I'll tell you offline, Robbie.
Never explain, never complain.
But the last thing I need is for them to go see all my political rants. I need to stay neutral as possible. So damn it.
Well, is your Facebook on like private lockdown?
It is. Well, yes, but you can't trust that. They have their ways, so you have to be careful. Got to be careful. I mean, I've heard about people losing jobs because of rants they go on, on online.
Well, remember the lady that flicked off the Trump motorcade? Like, I don't know. It was during his first term. Somebody found out who she was and her employer fired her. Like, this relates to this Chik-fil-A thing, kind of, because she wasn't even representing the company, but yet here she did something and the company said, well, we can't, you're done. That's why don't do stuff like that.
I know. I find that a little extreme, but I mean, if she wasn't doing her job and she was being a normal, just a everyday person on the street, but if it brought a bad name to the company, then I guess that's bad.
I mean,
who takes the time to try to figure out who somebody is that does that? I mean, why would you even care?
People have all the time in the world, and they're, I mean, I don't know. This is sort of teetering on political, so I'll drop it.
Yeah, maybe we should. Well, okay, how about this? I'll tell another Chik-fil-A story. In Towson Place, which is in Maryland, Chik-fil-A put up this sign, which I think is just great because nowadays, especially nowadays, family members and husbands and wives and boyfriends and girlfriends that go out to eat, and everybody's on their friggin' phone the whole time. And it's like, could we just have a phone-free meal once in a while, right? So
Yes.
the Chick-fil-A in Towson Place put up a sign that is asking people to take the cell phone challenge. They have these little coops. And I was like, why are they calling it a coop? And then I'm like, oh, it's a chicken place. So when you get there, you put your phone in the coop and they keep it for you while you eat. And if you do that, and then after you're done eating, you can go back and get your phone and they'll give you a free ice cream if you've left your phone in there the whole
Two
time.
things. I would totally do this. Number one, I would totally do it to get my free ice cream. Not even just to get my free ice cream, but I'm totally on board with not having a phone while you're eating. Secondly, my phone better be there when I go to pick it back up.
Right? Well,
You know, I could just see my phone getting taken or, yeah, I don't know.
yeah, that is okay. I guess that is something to be thinking about because phones
I
are
put it
like
in the coop
$1,000 now.
and I'd say, I just want to make sure that this is going to be here when I come back. You know, even if it's by mistake, somebody picks up a phone. I mean, almost everybody has a iPhone nowadays. Some of them look exactly the same.
Okay, you're right. I don't think I would do it. However, I can't tell you the last time I ate at a Chick-fil-A. I just usually drive through the drive-through and bring it home.
Well, and then when we touch on Chick-fil-A, that brings up all kinds of a touchy subject with people, considering, and it's a political thing, so.
Yeah,
I mean, some things you can't. Politics gets pulled into everything.
I
right?
know.
We can't even talk about Chick-fil-A without.
I know what
somebody's
you
going
want
to
to talk
comment
about.
Somebody's going to comment about it. Be like, "Why are you even eating at Chick-fil-A?"
Because it's damn good chicken, Robbie. Fuck it.
I am not judging you at all.
Yeah, good.
And I'm not even going to say that I go there or not. I'm just going to leave it to your imagination.
All right, I will. I'll get it out of you. Do you think there's any truth to this?
I certainly hope so. So the rumor is that we're going to get a Fleetwood Mac story from Ryan Murphy. So honestly, Ryan Murphy does not have the greatest track record when it comes to accurately portraying a real life story.
We know that. He takes
Do I want to
liberties.
see it? Yeah, I would still watch it, of course, because I'm obsessed with Stevie Nicks. I love Fleetwood Mac, but Stevie Nicks just goes a little further for me. I think I read that Billie Lourd is rumored to play her, and maybe Connor Story playing Lindsey Buckingham.
I can't.
Connor
see that,
Story was
but
in Heated Rivalry.
yeah.
I mean, I could see Connor Story with a fro. Remember Lindsey had the fro at the beginning.
Big one. Yeah.
Also, Connor Story, I think he was great in Heated Rivalry. He has the acting chops to pull this off, I think.
I haven't
Billie
seen
Lourd.
that, but I did see Connor. He hosted Saturday Night Live, and he was really, really good at that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of them have confirmed anything, but I think that it would be fun, and I think a lot of people would be interested in watching it. Also, speaking of Lindsey Buckingham, I don't mean to go off on a tangent, but did you hear the news that some woman threw some unknown liquid on him in Santa Monica this week or last week?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I saw that, except that he wasn't hurt.
Yeah,
So.
but who knows what that was? Would you want someone just throwing some random liquid on you?
But it wasn't just a random woman. It was a longtime stalker of his. Apparently.
Yeah, that is true. I did read that he has a history with this woman.
Right. Which is just scary. And, if you have any kind of celebrity whatsoever, you have to be so careful, They can never go anywhere by themselves. I mean,
no,
some
you just
people
have to
do.
have some kind of backup
Keanu
with
does. Keanu doesn't. Keanu goes off on his own, and he doesn't. Nobody bothers him. So I guess it's just, it depends on who you are.
Well, we will have to keep our eyes and ears open for this Fleetwood Mac story, because if it does happen, you'll have to talk about it on the show.
Definitely going to talk about it, because I've loved so many of his shows. And I know what you said about the accuracy of them, but he's made so many good ones, like the feud with Jessica Lange and...
Yes, the Joan Crawford and Betty Davis, which of course I had to watch because
it was so delicious.
With both of those.
It was so
actresses.
Good. It was.
And then did you see season 2 with Truman Capote and all of the ladies? Yeah.
It was so good. I mean, just everything I think Ryan Murphy does is phenomenal. I didn't see the John F. Kennedy, Carolyn Bessette love story one because I just have no interest in them whatsoever and just don't give a
Well,
shit.
that's the
So-
one that's getting a lot of fire right now because Daryl Hannah has come out and said, I was not like that. You are besmirching my name, which I'm on Daryl Hannah's side on this. I mean, it's one thing to portray somebody in a light if they've been dead and gone for years and years.
Yeah.
But if somebody's still alive and say, hey, I was not like that, you're making me look like this pathetic hangers on or whatever
Yeah.
she said, like, I think that maybe, but you know what? Maybe Ryan Murphy, he should have talked to her first, but maybe he tried to and she didn't want to talk to him about it. But I
Very
mean, it is what
possible.
it is, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Ryan Murphy's big enough that he probably has a huge team of lawyers, and I'm sure they run all this shit by the lawyers before they do it. So I'm sure they thought that they could get away with it, whatever it is that they are saying. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's
Well,
lying. Maybe she's lying.
who knows? I don't know. But, you know, she was in Steel Magnolias, you know? You can't mess with somebody that was in Steel Magnolias.
Is that your
She
holy
played a
grail of a
mermaid.
movie?
Yeah, you can't. Nobody messes with Dolly or Sally Field.
No, they're both icons and American treasures. Speaking of American treasure, you know, you just mentioned Billie Lourd was Carrie Fisher's daughter, you know.
Yes.
Have I ever told you my Carrie Fisher story?
I have. Okay, if I remember correctly, number one, I was super jealous because I almost got to meet her once, and I can maybe go into that a little bit. It's not a long story. But okay, did she like bum a cigarette from you or a lighter or something?
No, it wasn't even. So it was it's a two-parter. So we were on a cruise in the Caribbean. This was 2013. And you don't have the pictures in front of you, but I have them. I just got them from my friend Jeff, and I'll put them on the YouTube. So I'll put some of them up. But she was so she was one of the entertainers. She was doing an evening with Carrie Fisher on the ship.
Because
And
this was around her wishful drinking period,
Yeah,
right? Where she had
exactly.
that. Yeah.
Well, this was an RSVP cruise, so it was a gay cruise. And she had we'd gone to the private island, and we were all at the beach, and she was there with her little dog, and she had a manic episode. And she just was acting erratic, and she was screaming, and she was talking to everybody, and 1 second she'd be screaming, the next second she'd be totally fine. And it was just very bizarre. And so people were trying to help her back to the ship. They thought maybe she should see somebody or not be around hundreds and thousands of people, right? So we were on what do they call it? The little ferry that takes you from the beach back to the ship.
Yeah.
And she smokes like a stack, but at that point she wasn't smoking. She was using one of those vape pens that look like a cigarette. Have you seen those?
Yeah, they were out before the vapes that people have now. They were like e-cigarettes, I think is what they called them.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I was talking to her, and then all of a sudden she decides that she needs to go to the front of this little ferry boat, and she just hands me her e-cigarette. She said, "Here." And so I took it, and I put it in my pocket, and I still have
that's
it.
exactly what I would have done. I would have kept it. Be like, Carrie Fisher had her lips on this.
And I still have it. I mean, it has her teeth marks in it.
Wow.
But it'll upset you to know that I don't know exactly where it is right now, but it is here somewhere in this house. So I will find it. But then
So what happened after that?
The second part of the story is that evening we went to the show in the big theater, and it was packed.
So that same night she was doing her show after this manic episode?
Yes. So she shows up at the theater. I'm sitting next to, Johnny McGovern?
Yes.
The big pimp or gay big.
Yeah, he does that video the cowboy video or something. I remember that.
He does lots of videos. Anyway, we hung out with him the whole week, and he was sitting next to me, and Dennis was on the other side of me, and we're watching this. So she's only up there for about 2 minutes, and she saw someone in the audience that she thought she knew. She jumped off the stage, ran out the door, and we never saw her again. And she was supposed to do a whole hour. She did 2 minutes. So,
what did the audience do?
Like, we're just like scratching our heads and like, is she coming back? But we had no idea what was happening. So apparently, we found out later, she went to her room, she took a nap, and she woke up at about 11 o'clock. And she felt she was back to normal, thinking correctly. And she called somebody, I guess it was the cruise director or whatever. And she said, I feel so bad. If you'd like to make an announcement, I'll hang out with people. Let's, up in the bar, up at the top of the ship. I'll stay there for as long as they want to talk to me. So they made this announcement, and Jeff and Dennis and I went up, and Steve Walker was there too. And maybe 20 people showed up. So it was her and 20 guys, and we just all talked. And she told us the most amazing fun stories,
Hey, that's worth it.
about Star Wars, about her mother, about her father, about her brother,
Yes.
about everything. It was just
So
the
if
coolest.
the listeners out there do not know, which I'm very disappointed in you if you did not know this, Debbie Reynolds, icon Debbie Reynolds is Carrie Fisher's mother.
And they
That's
were
a
like,
whole story in itself. Yeah.
and they were like best friends, and they lived right next door to each other. And they were best friends.
I would have loved to have heard the Debbie Reynolds stories because I'm kind of obsessed with Debbie Reynolds.
I know. Well, Jeff is going to be here next month, so I will ask him to help me remember what those stories were, because he probably remembers better than I do. But
So
it was really fun.
did you get a picture with her?
It wasn't that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You were
I
just
have
trying to be kind of
pictures.
cool and like,
Yeah. So
yeah.
if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put up a bunch of pictures of her sitting next to Jeff. And yeah, I mean, it was so much fun, but it just didn't seem appropriate to ask her for a picture, because
Yeah.
it was just like
I
a
don't know
bunch
if
of
I would have
friends.
done that if you're just hanging out.
I just didn't.
But
I don't like asking celebrities for things like that, especially in the wild. If it's an official event, like my picture with Katy Perry or my picture with Ricky
yeah,
Martin,
photo
that
ops, yeah.
great. Now, the reason I have the picture with Aisha is because I went to her. I was a producer on her movie. I gave her money to help her make her little indie movie that she made. That's why I have that picture.
What was the name of that film?
Put me on the spot.
Sorry.
I
I
can't
wanted to look
remember.
it up.
I can't remember offhand, but I'll write it down at
That's
the bottom of the screen.
that's funny. That reminded me of a story. So I went to one of these years and I lived in DC. I can't remember the year. Maybe it was like 2011 or something. I went to the HRC dinner and one of the special guests there was Bette Midler. And so I was attending the event and Bette Midler was there. And this twink that I kind of knew went over to her table to ask for a selfie. And she went, no.
I love that. Well, no.
Yeah.
The last time I saw Neil Patrick Harris and his husband, David Burka, we hung out with them at that exact Katy Perry event that's behind me. And Dale and I talked to them for like 20, 30 minutes. And they couldn't have been nicer. And then later, after the concert, we saw them playing slot machines on the casino floor. And I didn't go up to him again. I smiled, and we both waved and smiled and went on our way. But I was close enough to see other people going up to him. And every time someone came up, he was like, we're on vacation.
Right. We're trying to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't do pictures. He didn't want to talk to anybody. He's like, dude, we're on vacation just like you.
Yeah.
And
No,
you know
yeah,
what?
you got to respect the celebrities.
You have to.
Yeah.
And if I walked into the restaurant and saw Madonna sitting at a restaurant table, I would not go up to Madonna sitting at the no.
As much as a fan as I am, I wouldn't dare go up and bother her, because you want to know
Would
why?
not.
She'd probably cuss your ass out and you'd never forget it.
Right.
And I don't want that to be my memory of
Yeah.
meeting Madonna. I mean, honestly, I'd be intimidated. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, it's just not appropriate. And I told you, I ran into John Waters in London, and I walked by. I didn't want to bother him, so I said, "Hi, John, how are you?" And he said, "Hi." That was it.
Yeah.
The whole conversation. So,
I mean, they're just people too. I mean, also, here's the thing though. Sometimes if you're the age old thing, you don't meet your heroes kind of thing, right? Don't
Yeah,
meet your heroes
right.
because you're going to be disappointed or it's not going to go the way you want it to. So just remember that when you try to meet a celebrity or something. I mean, I'm pretty seasoned at this, right?
Yeah.
And
You are
I know,
now.
yeah. I mean, some interactions, I've never had a horrible interaction, but some interactions have been less than what I had wanted. you know, there's some that were kind of like, oh, that person just wasn't into being in the moment or whatever,
Right.
whatever. You don't always have to be, but it's a reflection on them. I don't know. Then I try to think about it. If I was a celebrity like that, some days I'm just not feeling it either.
Exactly.
But that person that you're meeting is going to always remember that you were a douche. And maybe you don't care, but I mean,
Right. Yeah.
do you want me to tell you who was kind of a douche? He wasn't
Absolutely.
necessarily a douche per se, but he was just kind of like not interested. And it was Henry Thomas, who played Elliot in E.T.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just was like, yeah, here's your signature. And yeah, not very engaging. But I mean, I can't say that he was a douche, but
Yeah.
it was like, oh, well, that was.
You were
On
left
the other
disappointed.
hand, the guy that played his brother in the movie, Robert McNamara, he was so much fun. I hung out with him in a bar for like a while, and he was super fun and very nice, very engaging.
We could do a whole show on this subject matter for sure, because I've
Yeah.
got tons of celebrity stories, of some good and some really bad. So we'll
Yeah.
do a whole special on that. But we're over an hour now, so we have to stop. But
Yeah, we got to put an end to this madness.
I know, but this was so fun. Well, thanks for doing this with me. I appreciate it.
Well,
Will you
thanks
come-
for asking me.
Will-
I will come back. Yes.
Okay, good. All right, good. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
The Swish Edition is a production of Bethwick Media, LLC. Learn more about the show at swishedition.com. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast app or site. But only if you like us.
And did you always release the show on Wednesday, or did it used to be on Fridays?
No, it was never Friday. It's been Tuesday, it's been Thursday, and now it's Wednesday.